That's over. I get that shit up. You know what I don't give up? Free body, free money, like you. I've been spent that 60K.
Street beefs, rivalries, and violence. These are all part of a reality that many don't understand unless they live it. But when the world of hip-hop collides with the streets, things get dangerous fast. Today we're talking about Bloodhound Q50, a rising star in the rap scene, and his ongoing feud with the St. Louis goons, a conflict that has left a trail of chaos, including a shooting that escalated an already volatile situation. How did it all go down? And what does this conflict reveal about the dangerous intersection between street culture and the rap game Bloodhound Q50? A name that's quickly gaining recognition, not just for his hard-hitting lyrics, but for his undeniable presence in the streets. Hailing from a city known for its rough streets, Q50 made a name for himself by telling his story, one of struggle, hustle, and survival. But as his fame grew, so did the complications surrounding him. What was once a promising career started to attract dangerous attention, and before long, his name became associated with one of the deadliest street beefs in recent memory. On the other side of the conflict, we have the notorious St. Louis goons, a group deeply embedded in the streets, known for their tough personas and connections to local gangs. St. Louis itself has long struggled with violence, with the city regularly making headlines for its high crime rate and gang-related issues. When you mix this kind of environment with rising stars like Bloodhound Q50, things are bound to get messy. And messy is an understatement. It all started with words, online disses, social media jabs, and street rumors.
Check on Q50, man. They didn't park this shit down there.
Fucking jump ass right now.
Never popped nobody that famous before. It's my first time.
Bloodhound Q50, never one to shy away from controversy, had some choice words for certain people in St. Louis. The beef was initially sparked by a few personal insults directed at some of the St. Louis goons. It wasn't just one post or comment, it was a slow build of escalating tension. Bloodhound Q50 was becoming a target, and soon it was clear that this wasn't just a war of words, it was about to become something much more dangerous. In interviews, Q50 wasn't shy about calling out his rivals. His brand of rap, gritty, street-conscious, and full of raw emotion, began to take a personal turn. His messages weren't just about making it out of the struggle, they were now about defending his reputation and asserting dominance over rivals who, in his eyes, threatened his rise to the top. Then, on March 15, 2023, the conflict took a terrifying turn. Reports emerged that Bloodhound Q50 was shot outside of a local club in St. Louis, Missouri. Sources claim that the shooting was a targeted attack, the culmination of the ongoing beef between Q50 and the St. Louis goons. It all happened in the blink of an eye. No one expected it, but everyone knew this was the kind of drama that could end in violence. While the full details of the shooting are still unclear, it's been confirmed that Q50 was shot in the arm during the attack, and the assailants managed to flee the scene before police arrived. Though Bloodhound Q50 survived the shooting, the aftermath sent shockwaves through the rap world. Fans and critics alike were left in shock, asking, how did it escalate this far? And was it all over a simple diss or something more deep-rooted? The streets had caught up with Q50, and the cost was high. Naturally, the shooting ignited a firestorm online. Fans, many of whom had been following Q50's rise, flooded social media with a mix of support and criticism. Some were quick to label him a victim of street violence, while others took a harsher stance, questioning if Q50 was truly the victim or just another participant in the cycle of street wars that have plagued the hip-hop world for years. So what happens after an incident like this? For Bloodhound Q50, his career is now on a knife's edge. While the shooting could bring more attention to his music, it could also tarnish his reputation. Violence in the rap game can easily overshadow talent, and for Q50, the question becomes, will he rise above it, or will he fall victim to the very streets he raps about? The St. Louis goons involved in the conflict have remained mostly silent, but some on the street have speculated that the violence isn't just about music, it's about power. These street beefs often run deeper than just insults or words. They're about territory, respect, and control. In a city like St. Louis, where the lines between street gangs and rap artists are often blurred. These disputes can get deadly fast. This isn't the first time a rap beef has turned deadly, and unfortunately it probably won't be the last. The intersection of street culture and rap is often where these conflicts reach a boiling point. For years, we've seen how these beefs escalate from lyrics to violence, and in many ways, the larger system of gang culture and rap music are feeding off each other, creating a vicious cycle. What happened to Bloodhound Q50 isn't just a reflection of his actions. It's a symptom of a much larger issue within the rap community. For artists like Bloodhound Q50, who come from the streets, the temptation to keep the beefs alive in their music and persona is hard to resist. But at what cost? The question remains, when does the music stop being about talent and start being about survival? And how does this affect the artist's future in a world where street cred and violence often go? After the shooting, Bloodhound Q50 laid low for a while, but he quickly returned to the studio, dropping new tracks that hinted at the struggle he was going through. His music seemed more focused than ever, driven by the pain of surviving the streets and the anger that comes with being targeted. But will his new material connect with fans? Or will the shadow of violence follow him wherever he goes? Q50's situation is a cautionary tale for any rapper looking to make it big. You can't escape the streets, even when you've made it out. And the more you embrace that persona, the more dangerous it gets. His next move could define not only his career, but also his life. As we watch the drama unfold, we're left with more questions than answers. Will Bloodhound Q50 overcome the violence that has shadowed his career? Or will his name become another tragic story in the long list of rappers who couldn't escape the streets? The question isn't just about Q50, it's about the larger culture of street violence in hip-hop. Can we change this narrative, or are we doomed to repeat it over and over again?